On the night my wife said she was working late, I waited up with her favorite tea. At 2 a.m., a drunk stranger called me. "You should know. She just said you're her brother to get out of here fast." I sat there in silence, poured her tea into the sink, and locked the bedroom door from the outside. That was 6 weeks ago. Today, she's sleeping outside my office. "Please, just talk to me." I sliced open every one of her favorite sweaters with a box cutter and folded them neatly back into her dresser drawer. No yelling, no smashing, just silent, deliberate removal. Fine threads coming apart one by one my blade while she was out working late again. I didn't even realize what I was doing until I'd gone through the third drawer. That one had the sweater I bought her last Christmas. Charcoal gray, cashmere, still tagged. I cut that one last. Right down the middle. That was the night everything started breaking open. She texted me at 11:37 p.m. "Sorry babe. Big project. Don't wait up. Love you." I boiled the tea anyway. Chamomile with honey, her exact combo. I set her mug on the end table beside her spot on the couch. Lit the stupid lavender candle she liked. Pulled the blanket over the armrest so she could slide under it when she got home and pretend everything was okay. But at 2:08 a.m., the call came. I didn't recognize the number. Almost didn't answer. But I did. The voice was slurred, half laughing. "Yo, you her brother or something?" She said you were her brother. But like, man, she bolted. "What? Your girl, Cassandra? She was here. Like really here. Just left my place in this wild panic. Said you were her brother when my roommate asked if she was cheating. She ran, man, fast." He laughed again, hiccuped, then hung up. I sat there, holding the phone, staring at her untouched tea until the steam curled off for the last time. Didn't cry, didn't scream. I picked up the mug, walked to the sink, poured it out slowly. Then I walked down the hallway and locked our bedroom door from the outside. Clicks shut like a hotel room. She never noticed I added that lock. She never noticed anything I did unless it benefited her. That was 6 weeks ago. She hasn't slept in that bed since. The next morning, I left before she got back. Just slid the key under the front door and took my car to work like it was a normal Tuesday. By then I'd already seen the Uber receipt emailed to our shared account. 2:34 a.m. drop-off. 6 blocks from a condo I didn't recognize. I drove to a hotel 3 towns over. Paid cash. Didn't even pack a bag. The silence was louder than I expected. I thought I'd fall apart. I didn't. She blew up my phone. First with confusion. Then apologies. Then threats. Then silence. Day 3. She posted a cryptic Instagram story with a song lyric about losing what matters most. Day 4. She changed her profile picture to one of us from vacation. Day 5. She posted a story of herself at brunch with the girls and tagged nobody. She was drowning. Good. Week 2. She showed up at my office. Security buzzed me. "A Cassandra is here? Says it's urgent." I told them to call the cops if she didn't leave in 10 minutes. She didn't. They did. She texted me afterward. "I'll wait as long as it takes. You can't ignore me forever." I didn't respond. I didn't know the full scope yet. Just the surface stuff. I thought maybe it was some random guy. A one-time mistake. It wasn't. Not even close. I started talking to her sister. They never got along. But she always liked me. When I reached out, she responded with one sentence. "Took you long enough." I asked what she meant. She sent a video. I stared at the screen, heart trying to crawl out of my throat. There she was. My wife. Wearing the dress I bought her for our anniversary. Sitting on some guy's lap in a booth at a bar I'd never seen. Holding 2 shots in one hand and licking his ear in the other. The camera pans slightly. Another guy. Another girl. They're toasting. The guy filming zooms in. "You got this on lock, bro," he laughs. Then she says it, laughing, eyes glassy. "He thinks I'm working late. Dumbass." The table laughs. Then the video cuts. That night, I sat on the floor of the hotel bathroom with the lights off, just breathing. I didn't smash anything. I didn't scream. I made a spreadsheet. Week 3, she showed up again. Didn't even knock this time. Just curled up outside my office like a stray. I watched her through the security feed. Her coat was damp. It had rained. She'd brought the tea mug, the same one I poured into the sink. She just sat there, holding it. I turned the lights off in my office and waited for her to give up. She stayed until morning. What nobody tells you is how betrayal isn't one clean break. It's slow, like pulling glass out of your skin one shard at a time. I found the emails a week later. She hadn't logged out of our shared laptop. Probably thought I was too heartbroken to check. I wasn't. There were folders. Names I didn't recognize. Dates. Calendars. One labeled work/play, winky face. Inside? Photos. Nothing explicit. Just suggestive. Champagne on a desk. Her leg draped over a chair. A tie, definitely not mine, looped around her wrist. She'd been documenting it like a vacation. There were even notes. May 3rd told him I had a migraine. Spa day with Tyler. Worth it. June 12th got the raise. He thinks it's for loyalty. LMFAO. I read them all. Every bullet point. I memorized them. Then I printed them out, stapled them into a neat packet, and mailed a copy to her parents. No note. Just the facts. They haven't contacted me. But her sister texted, they cried. Good. You think you know what revenge looks like? Fire. Screaming. Explosions. It's not. It's silence. It's walking into the house you use to share and removing one thing every day. The router. Her charger. The spices she likes. Her winter coat. Each time she came back to the house, something else was gone. Like it was evaporating around her. By week 4, she stopped posting stories. Week 5, she changed her number. Week 6, she stopped pretending. She showed up outside my office again. Shoes soaked. Hair matted. She had a blanket this time. And the mug. Always the mug. I walked past her. Didn't say a word. She grabbed my leg. Whispered, please. I stared at her hand. Then said, get up. She did. I unlocked my car. Drove us to the house. Silent. Inside, I pointed to the dining table. On it was a manila folder. Inside? Divorce papers. Signed. Final. Filed. And something else. A printed receipt. One I found buried in our shared emails. Plane tickets. 2 of them. Her name. Tyler's name. Cabo. A week after our 2nd anniversary. She blinked at it. I said, you used my credit card. Her lips parted. But nothing came out. I walked to the door. Held it open. She didn't move. I don't hate you, I said. That broke her. She crumpled to the floor like her strings had been cut. I didn't watch. Just closed the door behind me. Update 1. Update 1. When I closed the door behind her, I didn't think she'd come back. But she did. 3 hours later. I watched through the peephole as she sat on the steps with her knees pulled to her chest, eyes locked on the folder like she was waiting for it to rewrite itself. Like maybe if she stared hard enough, it'd say annulment instead of divorce. She stayed there until midnight. Then disappeared. Next morning, the mug was back. Perched on the doorstep. Clean. Dry. Full of chamomile. I didn't drink it. I poured it into the dirt and threw the mug in the trash. You'd think the cheating was the worst part. But no. That came later. After I called Tyler. Yes, I called him. She'd saved his number under T-Mobile survey. Real subtle. He picked up on the 3rd ring, voice chipper like I was calling to renew a gym membership. I didn't yell. Didn't threaten. Just said, you probably don't remember me, but I remember the shirt you left in my house. Pink Oxford. Banana Republic. You left it under my bed. Silence. Then a cough. Then, look, man, I didn't. You did, I cut in. But I'm not mad. He hesitated. You're not. Nope. I just need to know one thing. What? Did she ever tell you about the miscarriage? Silence. Then a low stunned, what? She was 6 weeks along. Last summer. We lost it. She said it destroyed her. Said it was the hardest thing she'd ever been through. I took off work for 3 days to stay in bed with her. Silence again. Then, voice shaky now, she told me she never wanted kids. Said she got her tubes tied in 2021. I didn't reply. Just hung up. That was the moment I realized she hadn't cheated on me. She cheated on the version of herself she pretended to be. To Tyler, she was a wild child. No strings. No kids. Just sex and laughter and Cancun selfies. To me, she was mourning a child that never existed. Waking me up at 3 a.m. sobbing into my chest. Asking if I thought souls still counted even if they never made it to daylight. I left something behind that month. I thought it was grief. Turns out it was my dignity. She came back again on a Wednesday. Didn't knock. Just sat on the porch in the rain, same spot, same mug. But this time she had something in her lap. A photo album. The one we made after the Italy trip. Before the lying. Before the late nights. Before Tyler. She opened it on her knees and flipped through the pages like I hadn't burned that version of us months ago. When she left, she tucked a photo under the doormat. It was me. Laughing. Red wine in one hand. Her hand in the other. On the back she wrote, "You were always better than me. I just didn't know how to sit still." 2 days later, I got an email from her job. HR, formal. Clinical. Dear Mr. Reynolds, this is to inform you that Cassandra L. has resigned effective immediately. Please contact us if you require any assistance or clarification regarding future proceedings involving mutual property or documentation. There was a second attachment. A reference letter. Apparently, she asked her manager to write one before walking out. It was glowing. Praised her attention to detail, adaptability under stress, and team cohesion. I printed it. Taped it to the wall above the burned tea ring on the kitchen counter. Every time I looked at it, I felt like vomiting. Attention to detail. That's rich. Week 7. I started sleeping again. I stopped checking the cameras. I took her off the emergency contact form at work. But then I got a letter. Not email, not text. An actual letter. Folded into thirds. Handwritten. Blue ink. No greeting. Just, if I go away, will you come find me? That was it. Nothing else. I called her sister. She's not answering me either, she said. Last time I saw her, she looked gone. Gone? Like she was halfway through turning into someone else. Like if I blinked, she'd vanish. Yesterday, I found the mug again. Same doorstep. But this time, it was cracked. Not broken, just a hairline fracture, slicing through the middle like a fault line. Inside was a ring. Her wedding ring. My grandmother's ring. The one I gave her when I proposed on the pier during a thunderstorm. She said she'd never felt more sure of anything in her life. I left it in the mug. Put it in the freezer. I don't know why. Maybe because it deserves to feel cold. This morning? I walked into the office like any other day. Coffee. Emails. Light rain outside. Then the receptionist buzzed me. There's someone sleeping outside. What? Outside your door. She's got a pillow. A blanket. Looks like she's been here a while. I checked the feed. There she was. Cassandra. Face turned to the wall, knees pulled in, blanket clutched like a flag of surrender. I opened the door. She didn't move. Just whispered, please. Just talk to me. I didn't say anything. Just stood there, watching the woman who used to know every corner of me fall apart in a hallway full of echoes. I'm not sure what I'll do next. But one thing's for sure, she's not the one who gets the final word anymore. Update 2. She didn't move for 6 hours. Just lay there outside my office like some broken ritual, breathing in time with the hum of the AC vent above her. Every now and then, someone walked past and stared. Some whispered. One in turn took a photo. I let him. Maybe she'd finally see what collapse looked like from the outside. At 3:17 p.m. she knocked. Not on the door. On the floor. 3 soft taps. Like she was summoning a ghost. I opened it. She didn't look up. Just held something out. A flash drive. Didn't say a word. Just pressed it into my hand, got up and left. No drama. No tears. Like she'd rehearsed the scene in her head 1,000 times and finally got it perfect. I should have thrown it away. Instead, I plugged it in the second I got home. There were 2 folders. One was labeled proof. The other? Insurance. I opened proof first. Inside, video files. Photos. Voice notes. At first, they were what you'd expect, screenshots of text threads, selfies with timestamps, GPS pings. She was tracking Tyler. Documenting everything. There was a hidden camera feed from his apartment entryway, her walking in, kissing him, and then, another woman. Also kissing him. Tyler had been cheating on her. With 2 different women. 3, maybe? One of them looked barely legal. She didn't react in the videos. No fights. No drama. Just footage. Data. Receipts. Then came the audio. A recorded phone call. Tyler talking to someone named Ames. Bragging. She thinks I'm gonna propose? I'm giving her until Christmas, then ghosting her. You know how crazy girls get. Gotta lock M down or cut M off. Ames laughed. What about her husband? Dude's a ghost. I think he left. Or died. Who cares? Then the sound of clinking glasses. Cheers. That's when it clicked. She wasn't here because she missed me. She was here because he betrayed her too. We were both ghosts in the same graveyard now. I opened the insurance folder. My breath caught. The first file was titled DNRletter.docs. If anything happens, remember where we dreamed of growing old together. There was a map. A red X over the lake house we stayed at once. The one I told her was the only place I could sleep without nightmares. Second file, a video. She's sitting in our old apartment. Dim lighting. Eyes hollow. No makeup. No filter. I know you think I'm here because I got caught. But the truth is I was gone long before Tyler. Before the fake meetings. Before the tea went cold. She holds up her phone. Scrolling through photos. Every version of me has been fake since I was 15. Tyler didn't break me. You didn't lose me. I was never whole to begin with. She leans closer. I lied about the miscarriage. My chest caved in. I wasn't pregnant. I just needed a reason to stop being touched. She stares directly into the lens. And I wanted to know if you love me anyway. Cut to black. I drove to her sister's house at midnight. Didn't even knock. Just texted. Where is she? She called immediately. She's not answering me either. But check your email. Right now. There was a single email from a burner account. Subject, last T. Attached? A live stream link. Private. Locked. Timer set for 5 a.m. I stared at it until 4:58. Then I clicked. The stream opened to a rooftop. Rain-slicked pavement. City lights bleeding into gray sky. The camera was already rolling. She stepped into frame. Wearing the gray sweater I'd sliced in half. It had been stitched back together, badly. Visible thread. Ugly seam. She held up the tea mug. My mug. No words. Just looked straight into the lens. Then she pulled out the ring. Held it up. And dropped it into the mug. It shattered the silence like a bell. Then she lifted the mug and emptied it. I slammed the laptop shut and ran to the car. Didn't know where she was, just drove in loops. Called every rooftop bar we used to visit. Every hotel. Every friend who still answered. Nothing. Then my phone buzzed. Blocked number. One word. Hospital. They found her on the roof of our old building. Found beside the camera. Still holding the mug? She was alive. Barely. They pumped her stomach. Broke a rib doing it. She bit a nurse. When I got there, they wouldn't let me in. Said she'd requested a list of blocked visitors. I wasn't on it. But I wasn't on the cleared list either. Just in limbo. Like always. This morning I got another package. Courier. No return address. Inside, the mug. Clean. Dry. No cracks. And a note. You never locked the door. I did. I wanted to know if you'd come back for the key. Update 3 final. I found the key yesterday. Not the metaphorical one. Not some symbolic gesture taped under a mug or slipped between lines of regret. The actual bedroom key. The one that locked the door she never noticed the night she lied, then cried, then collapsed. It was in my glove compartment. Wrapped in the blood-stained sweater she wore the day I first told her I loved her. Don't ask me why it was bloody. I don't know. But the red was dried. Brown now. Old. And the note tucked inside just said, I was always trying to find the door you locked before the lock existed. I didn't even flinch. They released her a week later. Not because she got better. Because she stopped speaking. 3-day psych hold. Discharged when she said what the doctors wanted to hear. I was confused. I'm fine now. She wasn't fine. She showed up at the lake house 3 days later. Yeah. Our lake house. The one from the map in the DNR folder. She must have memorized the GPS coordinates from the red X. She broke in through the back window. Slept in the linen closet. Ate protein bars from the emergency kit under the sink. Didn't touch a single plate. Didn't turn on a single light. I found her because of the smell. The lake water had soaked her boots. Moldy. Rank. She'd left them by the fireplace like she was still living here, like her name was still on the mortgage. She didn't even look surprised when I walked in. Just whispered, is this where you'll leave me? I didn't answer. Instead, I took out the last envelope. The one she didn't know I had. The one I'd sealed the night I signed the divorce papers. Inside, a photo. From the security feed. Her sleeping outside my office. I flipped it around. Wrote 5 words. You never had to stay. Left it on the pillow beside her. Walked out. And this time? I did lock the door. She stayed in that house for 4 days. Didn't text. Didn't call. But every night at 11:11 p.m. I'd get a push alert, motion detected, lakeside bedroom. She was pacing. Always pacing. Like she was measuring the silence between us. The 5th night, the alerts stopped. I waited. No motion. No tea mug. No ring. Just nothing. So I drove back. House was quiet. Door still locked. But inside? The photo was gone. So was she. On the mirror, in black eyeliner, she'd written, no one ever wants the version of me that's still here. That was 3 weeks ago. No one's seen her. Her phone's dead. Bank account's untouched. Her sister filed a missing persons report. I didn't. I'm not sure what I'd even say. Hi, I lost my wife somewhere between her 3rd lie and her 5th suicide rehearsal. Yesterday, I got a package. No return address. No note. Just a tiny jewelry box. Inside? A house key. But not ours. Not the lake. Not the condo. One from my childhood home. Rusted. Bent. The place I hadn't thought about in 15 years. I don't even know how she got it. Inside the box was a photo. Me. Age 7. Hugging my dad's leg. Smiling like I hadn't learned how to lie yet. On the back, scrawled in childlike handwriting. I found the version of you I was looking for. Final update. The police found her car yesterday. Abandoned in a parking garage downtown. Inside, 1 sweater, 1 mug, 1 burned photo album. Passenger seat had a dried tea stain the shape of a heart. They haven't found her. And the search has gone quiet. I still check the door some nights. Still listen for her hand on the other side. Not because I want her back, but because sometimes silence is worse than the lie. At least the lie wanted to be held. At least the lie said my name. Yeah? There's just the door. Locked. Cold. Empty. Exactly the way I left it.